Hi, guys. A big part of this message is not trying to plan and not trying to have a projection on what the future is going to look like. It's just showing up for the future. That's so interesting. Something just popped up on my computer. Okay. Because you'll be surprised with what pops up when you are just living life. And I say that because I was sitting listening to music and readings, and spirit just like halfway through this sort of like my own morning practice was like, no, you got to get up and you got to go connect. And then I'm juggling who am I going to connect with, who needs to be connected with. And I am fully devoted to my YouTube collective. There's just a different frequency here, and I love it. And as I sat down, I like had all these ideas of how am I going to read? How am I going to show up for you all? And that in that, and what I'm saying here is that just showing up is enough, and that things will unfurl. Like, you can trust your gifts. Okay. I'm going to roll the astro dice to be our discernment for the tone of this message. I also want to say that I am seeing a rainbow prism reflected from my clear quartz onto my desk, and that sort of energy has been coming in a lot. And now I'm thinking about this full moon in Capricorn that's coming up. Again, I have limited seats for this gathering, and it's going to be my last live public gathering before I close things up to just be for the inner circle only. So if you've been interested in just trying out sitting in a lunar container, come hang out. Now, the reason I bring up this full moon in Capricorn is it really is this balancing act. And it's like this legacy of Capricorn, sun in Cancer, of ancestry. There's this sort of merging. And like when we look at the past of Cancer, Cancer is all about like our ancestry, and Capricorn's more about like our descendants and what comes after. And descendants doesn't have to literally be like your children, but it's like this future building for something bigger than it's what comes after. And right, in society now, that would be like your business, this thing that's out in the world, but it really is like what's left after you go. Okay. And in the middle of that is presence. We have Pluto in Cancer in the 8th house. I knew we were going to be going deep. It's always that way with you guys. Okay, that's bringing in this conversation around the fact that we have a Mercury retrograde happening in Cancer that is starting the same day as this full moon. For those of you who are unaware, and this is maybe the first time that you're meeting me, I am a professional astrologer. I go by 8th House Mercury here, where I do channeled messages, and down below is linked my astrology account where I do evolutionary astrology. I go live every Sunday, which is, yes, today when I'm posting this, to talk about the astro forecast and dive deeper into what's occurring energetically for the week. And with this Pluto energy, this is so interesting. This is going to pertain to the reading, but it feels important to name this Mercury retrograde that's going to be happening. It's kicking up the dirt, it's kicking up the dust, it's kicking up all the like little ancestral dust bunnies. It's kind of what it feels like. It's like this substance that hasn't been touched for a long time. And within Cancer, it has to do with our family, within home, within ancestry, within our feelings, within how we relate to the archetype of the mother. And of course, it just depends on which house it's falling for you. Now, deepening into this specific reading, into what is coming up for you all here, is we have a massive, oh, the cats are fighting. Of course, hold on. Of course, that needed to happen for whatever reason, and precisely what I spoke to my fur child. I said, you need to stop running away from your enemies. You need to face them. And that is a bit of this energy. And when I say enemies, I'm saying it lightly. It's my mom's cat, and they're like literally the same age and they grew up together. Like, he's just like bringing in tension to test him, right? Test the strength, right? You got to get pushed a little bit. You got to get rocked a little bit to see how will you hold up. And for me, this Pluto in Cancer is really speaking to ancestral fears. Like, as I'm feeling into it, it's like this deep fear of separation. Yeah, like stepping away from the known, right? I'm really thinking of Cancer as this sort of like womb space in the eighth house. This is like, it feels a bit like trauma bondy. If I'm being honest, like there is a bit of that sort of frequency, and that's the best way I can describe it, is this sort of energy of like being so intermeshed with something that you don't, a little bit of like Stockholm syndrome kind of energy where, like it's not a good circumstance that you find yourself in, but it's what is known, right? And I feel like you're peeking under the floorboards and you're finding things that are not, that you built your foundation on, that isn't actually truly aligned with who you feel like in your heart and soul that you are. Let's see how this continues to unfold. Oh, and now I just heard the lyrics from Unfold by Porter Robinson. I love that song. And I had a moment listening to that where this feels like it's pertained to this message. You're seeing, because those lyrics, let's find them. And I love all of you guys. Thank you for hanging out. My readings are a bit different. I'm really just here with you and present with you, watching wild skies, wishing with closed eyes. Oh, run for a lifetime. Follow the signs. I put my picture down. They're not as good as the real thing. I wish I could go home. You're just nostalgic. What do we wander from and only notice it now, so be here with me. And I watch the water unfold. It's a feeling I want you to know, because I'm not the same as I was, as I shoulder the weight of the world. I was setting in stone until I noticed it right. Do you see how you've grown? Don't be sorry then. And I fall from my bones, and I know that I'm alive, and I want you to find it. You guys, like, the feeling that I am feeling for this collective is this, like, you've grown. Like, I've changed. Like, you're finally like really feeling the change that is settling. And you're like, right, there is this part of realizing like home is not once what it was. There's nostalgia there. There's going to be a lot of nostalgia coming up. And now it's finding home in something new, that you are home within you. And there's like this depth of like realizing that your self up until now, like there's been a lot of transmutational energy the last like couple weeks when I'm filming this. Of course, this is timeless. Whenever you find it, it's probably applying to the time that you're in this moment. You're like literally seeing how this version of you up until this point has been carrying way too much. And not that they're not capable, but it's like, why am I carrying things that are not mine? Again, with this Pluto and Cancer, like ancestral things that you're like, I don't need this anymore. Ugh, tell me, Spirit, as we unfold into this, right? Unfurling, unfolding. I'm going to do some past, present, future. Wow. The Ten of Pentacles at the bottom, right? There's like this. So, this past energy is this Knight of Cups that we have here. And for me, this is really representing how just giving you've been, right? Always the first one. It's giving like first responder kind of energy. Like you're always the one to show up and be emotionally intertwined with whatever's happening around you, that you are this comfort, that you are the chalice, that you are this energy being able to hold emotionally. And I'm going to pull 3 more cards to kind of just expand on these. And I'm going to only pull one at a time. We're just going to shuffle there, pull here. Yeah. Yeah. For a good chunk of you, it's been in devotion to partnerships or the ideas of love, and just really giving, right? And we can see where that energy, it's not lost from you, like it's not disappearing, but you're being way more discerning about like, am I giving just because I want to be seen, that I want to be seen as useful and emotionally intelligent and emotionally responsive? Or where we're at now, we have the Ace of Cups, where it's like, this is the holy grail. Like you are literally allowing yourself to be like, look at this dove and how this beam of light is coming down, that purple beam of light from spirit, literally being fulfilled. And it makes me think of this song and something one of our members in the Discord shared about love, and I'm not going to go in depth about it because that was a personal share. But it reminded me of the song Reload by why am I blanking on it? Isn't it Sebastian Ingrosso? And I love that song because it talks about love always being available to us. Love is sorry guys. Love is always the thing that is present, that is always there. There is an infinite, like this sort of recharging energy. It's always there. And like literally you've tapped into that. And you're like, "Oh, wait, you mean I don't need to like do this Knight of Cups like performance of like showing my love in this like chalice and being like, somebody drink from my cup, somebody like please, please, like there's a little bit of desperation that comes that I'm feeling from this Knight of Cups. That's like, please somebody want me, please somebody like cherish me, right, in the way that you cherish others. But then you get into this role of like, if I am over giving, then at least I'm doing something. And now we're shifting into this Ace of Cups where you are so deeply like fulfilled by spirit, and now a lot of things are falling away, right? That emotional terrain and that emotional story. Yeah, as we have this card clarifying it, which for me, this is about decay and like this is the mulch, and then we have Isis at the bottom. Like I'm seeing this as like where you've like right underneath the surface, because we have this lotus flower where you've grown from this, like from the dirt, from the mud, and you're like growing up and you are like really allowing life to pour back into you. And again, with this 8th house story that we have here with the Pluto in Cancer, 8th house energy, and how this card is coming up, that is very 8th house territory, where this wasn't, oh, that's what Spirit's saying. They're like, Izzy, this wasn't an easy shift. Like there's been a lot of deep alchemy and like digging and like stirring up the like silt and the muck underneath the surface, because you've been on this journey of finding your personal treasure, relating back to the alchemist, right, where you're realizing like, I don't want to just give that up for love, not in the sense that love isn't a promise to you, but it's this, you've been detouring your personal journey for relationship in the past. And I mean relationship in all its forms, not just romantic too. And yeah, they want me to pull a card for in between those two. I'm just going to split this, grab here, the moon. Yeah. This feels very related to the astrology present. Literally in my dreams last night, a spirit was like, there's more about this Jupiter shifting from Cancer into Leo that you didn't touch on, Izzy, in your newsletter. And I feel it's applying to this reading where we've been going through little astrology facts. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer, and it's been in Cancer for the last year. And we've gone through a whole year cycle of the moons being ruled by Jupiter. So they've been more expansive than they normally are. They've been very much like, whoa, here's a deep theme in a specific area of my life that is being like really absurd and like, um, uprooted, and I'm really getting to look at it, right? That has been this sort of journey, and they're really emphasizing this last year of like really like each lunation has like gotten you clearer and clearer and clearer, and this is really just illuminating the subconscious patterning, and it's like you've nipped it in the bud and you really have shifted. And so when we look at the future, we have the Empress here. This is like we're going to pull this card. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is the version of you that has been waiting to step forward. Is just right in the wings that you just feel them. You feel them like just right in the background, ready to like take their rightful space. And there really is this like, we'll ask about like how we can move into that, but I really want to hone into this energy because it's reminding me of, there it is. It's reminding me of this card I pulled yesterday from the Sacred Rebels deck, and it is the card number 20, I believe. Yeah, softly, softly, the tender touch. The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now, whether you're at a point in life where you want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal. It is time to work smarter rather than harder. That is the way of the feminine wisdom. That's what this integration of this Ace of Cups into this Empress, because you're literally in the activation of source being your source being your source, and like literally the outlet that you are plugged into and receiving from, right? It's no longer external, it's you and God, source, universe, right? Whatever that is for you. You're just plugged in. And you're plugged in, and it's interesting because they're showing me a little bit of corrosion around the edges because of this deep alchemy you've been doing. It's a little like, whoa, this is a lot. And like the trusting of this connection that you're having so deeply with spirit is, it's a lot. And I feel, yeah, we're gonna get more clarity, but this Empress energy that you're moving into is the feminine wisdom that a lot of people are finally like shifting into this integration point, right? We live in a society that is very masculine oriented, right? This idea of the patriarchy, that's just saying the masculine operational force, which is ruled by the sun, right? This every day a cycle, and this is leaning more into the moon, and that's why Jupiter in Cancer has been really explosive for the collective of like really tuning into these lunar cycles. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We're generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make sense of things, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It's about inviting what we wish for to come into the space that we have provided for it. You have this beautiful chalice, this Ace of Cups, that you're just sitting and you're like, yep, ready to be fulfilled. Provided for it internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy and causes less stress and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. And then they tell this story about the wind and the sun, right? Were in competition to see if they could get a man to take his jacket off. And the wind pushed and pushed and pushed, trying to blow the jacket off of this man, while the sun just consistently beamed. And eventually the man took the jacket off himself because it was too hot. And so that talks about presence. It talks about like just being you. You are to feel that you are a naturally abundant being who gratefully invites in more of what you want into your life is rather different than feeling lack, fear, and wishing your world would change. It's a bit like dressing for the job you want, even if it's not yet the job you have. You energetically embody what you wish to attract more into your life. Like attracts like. This brings you a message that you don't need to push so hard to receive what is naturally coming for you. Your push comes from a place of uncertainty over whether or not you will succeed. You need to relax and have more faith in yourself. All things come in time, rightfully and according to the great loving wisdom. Yeah, and this is really inviting you to be softer. And especially for those of you who have there's been a lot of emotional excavation. And so I really want to like now journey into how do we move from this Ace of Cups into this Empress energy. And again, thank you all for hanging out. I would love to know how this is resonating for you guys, and um would love for you guys, if you feel the call, to join my Discord community. It's a free open space with like-minded people. I only am inviting in sovereign people of their own energy and emotional authority. So do what you will with that info. Okay, moving in. The mask has to fall, guys. Like, I literally feel this version of you is already like present in your own energy. It's just a matter of embodying it. It's a matter of like, yeah, being the Empress. Okay, being the Empress. My eyes just drifted to my Espeon Pokemon card. Um, Solar suggestion. Okay, tell me more. Okay, the mask and the Bardo. The Bardo to me is like really hinting at this sort of like, it feels like a part of you that feels like there's more underneath the surface that needs to be understood. That this liminal space, right? You're in the, for some of you, you are in this in between of this Ace of Cups into this Empress. That you're in this activation of removing the mask, of allowing it to come off. Now I'm seeing that like movie The Mask. I think it's that. I've never seen it, but I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, so that might resonate with some people. Tell me about this. The womb and the shapeshifter. This is all kind of connecting back to this Cancer, Pluto energy, right? There is this, feels like a reclamation of that energetic womb space, whether you have a womb or not. It's like where you find the deepest sense of safety and nurturing. With the shapeshifter here, for those of you who actively have a womb and like are shedding, I feel this next bleed that is on its way is going to be an initiation point for you. Okay, so literally using your cycle as a clear indicator of that. For those of you without a cycle, following those lunations again, that's going to be a key indicator. So our next upcoming new moon is going to be on the 14th, which will be gathering with my inner circle. For those of you who are interested in joining, that's linked below. There's limited spots. I believe we have like 7 spots left. Yeah, and this is 21 degrees of Cancer. Feeling that, feeling that, feeling that. Okay. I just saw some other transits happening. We're going to be talking about that. I already got derailed from that. Okay, tune me back in. This shedding. I want one more card. Yeah. This is like an entire reconfiguration of how you relate to the mother, of how you relate to the maternal forces, how you relate to this idea of stepping into the feminine, right? Where's there still resistance? Where's there still a story, a part of you, a mass that says, like, I can't do that. I can't do it that way. I can't do it that way. It's scary, right? A bit of this process, too, I'm feeling is like not something you can control. It's not going to be something that you can, like, you have the reins of. It's just a matter of like circumstances in your life actually like encourage, like, it's like you're not going to have a choice but to sit and be in this energy. And again, we have the 10 of cups at the bottom of this deck, and we have Isis at the bottom of this deck. So like I'm really, and they're like saying, look at the bottom of this one, the shadow. Okay. Yeah, there's a greater, and now they're showing me like the dark side of the moon. Like there's a greater piece that is falling into place. And I'm so curious because I would like the uncreated. This feels, this is a lot bigger than I feel you and I have an idea about with the uncreated, because I'm seeing again like the dark side of the moon. This, like, I was seeing like Pink Floyd's album cover before I like sat down and filmed this, so maybe Pink Floyd, some sort of connection there for some of you, but this feels greater. And now I'm hearing the song again. I did a message about this, Bigger Than My Body. Like, now I'm hearing like Immaculate Conception. Spirit's like, we're really wanting to work with you in a way that is very unique. Oh my gosh. And literally underneath this is Benevolent Guide and Sparks of Light. Yeah, there's this neat I'm hearing the song drop the, oh, are you kidding me? As I said, drop the, my earring. And it's on my right side. Feminine Intuition drop. The Game, I believe is called, yeah, by Flume. The lyrics, it says, I've been seeing your soul. Give me the things that I've wanted to know. Tell me the things that you've done. I've been feeling old. I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. Hush, I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game. It's not enough. Hush. You are my sun. I've been seeing all. I've been seeing your soul. Like, guys, this energy is very interesting. And it's like on the tip of my tongue. This is a lot bigger than you imagine it to be. It's like, oh yeah, the Empress energy. Oh yeah, like dipping into my feminine receptivity. Like, yeah, yeah, you're like not a stranger to that, but this is like a complete dismantling and rebirth of your entire self. And this song coming out specifically, right? I feel like with Benevolent Guide, Uncreated, and Sparks of Light coming out here, there is, oh my gosh, and Sun Splendor. Like, it's about to get really good. Things are about to get real good for you. Because you're becoming the version of yourself that can actually hold pleasure, that can hold joy at a whole new capacity, that it is your baseline to be in the frequency of love. And right now, where you're at in life, right, it feels very self-contained, like love, right, with this Ace of Cups. It's very self-contained, you with spirit, and this is literally opening you up a lot more. This like literally, they're like, this is, they're showing me like a stormy sea. Like, it's not, I don't, there's no fear mongering here, but I'm going to say that it's going to stretch your capacity. It is going to make you look at your life and go, holy I have not, I thought I was in my worth because I thought I knew my worth, but my pattern of understanding my worth came from a lineage, right? This eighth house Cancer energy. It came from a lineage that never really truly understood its worth and its divine nature, its divine right. Your divine right for pleasure, your divine right for joy, your divine right for happiness. And you're gonna, it's like I'm hearing like there again, there is still some underneath substances that are still like, I don't know if I can have that, right? There's this greater release of the programming of our world ultimately, right? And a big sacrifice of this is going to be a lot of the people that you know. Because when you step into this frequency, you are going to step into the role of being a trigger for them. Because the way that this is moving about for you guys is triggering. Because it goes against everything that everybody's been taught. And it's making me think of a specific individual in my life that I've known for a long time. And the reason our relationship didn't pan out is because they were unable to see how they kept projecting the thing that was keeping them small outside of themselves. And I feel like you may have a lot of those kinds of individuals, right? It's the system. It's my boss. It's my mom. It's my dad. It's my partner. Like they're the one to blame, right? Because what you're doing here is you are taking radical responsibility of yourself. And in turn, that is like, it's like this boom, radical responsibility. And then it's expanding outwards. And it's this massive transformation of deep self respect. Deep self respect. Like, this is amazing. And now they're reminding me of my earring falling and moving back to this song. You are the sun, right? Again, with that story, that's why I was connecting back. Like, you just shine. You're just meant to shine. I just saw 32:23 on the timer. Okay. And like, yeah. And then we have blood, which is making me think of a song by Aurora. Wow, we're doing a lot of song divination. Your Blood by Aurora. Your blood, what matter is it made of? Do you feel it travel in and out of your heart? Needles stitching up the big holes as you've prepared yourself for battle as you fell apart. Are you dust? Are you dust? When all inside of you burns like a star, it's after you burn out that you are reborn again. And maybe if you called out for help, then I could help you outrun yourself. Come run, we'll run again. I refuse to die. I refuse to die. When all inside you burns like a star. And like it literally is this like choice of self implosion. Is kind of how, I mean, like literally, like you're burning so bright, you're going to burn out and be reborn into this entirely new thing. It's like shining for yourself and then boom, like becoming this entirely new thing. We are dust, you are dust. What matter is it made of? Right? It's after you burn out all that you are that you're reborn again. And that's literally like you're at the last dredges of this false energy. That's what this Bardo is. And it's going to be like, they're like literally showing me like somebody in outer space. Like you have enough jetpack fuel to like use that last burst of what was left from that, from the world that you came from, right? This, I'm seeing like a little jetpack for, I'm thinking of Club Penguin, the jetpack game. Like you're running out of fuel, but you can drift. And like once the fuel is gone, this substance that was created from the world that you were known from, or your family, you know, your circumstances, that's what the metaphor is. it's pushing you, and then you're floating, and I'm seeing you like take this jetpack off and like pushing off from it and like literally leaving everything that you know from this world to like propel yourself into this entirely new experience. And it's good. It's a real good time. Anything else you'd like them to know? Okay, we want last card's going to come from my Sacred Rebels deck. Wow. It's a really cool reading, guys. Okay. Restore and replenish. It's such a interesting energy right now because it's like this is happening anatomically. They're saying like at a like deep level within you. Something about like the 7 years cycle of like your body being recreated. So look at who you were 7 years ago. Right, when was that? 7 years ago. That was 2019. Whoa. Oh, whoa. I just had a life flashback. Jesus, guys. Crazy time that was. Rest, restore, and replenish. You are in need in something much more than rest. You are in need of restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not come from just lying about somewhere and taking a moment out of your day or evening activities. You are more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. You are in need of some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, mind, and heart. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing your usual flow of energy through your being. You could stimulate this process by going to a different place, meeting different people, taking a different action than you would normally do. You can return to your regular routine in time if it feels good. However, it's now time to move without pushing yourself beyond what is known. It is now time to move without pushing yourself beyond what is known, comfortable, and familiar. This oracle comes as a message of a great loving guardian, which is life itself. You've been working so hard and have accomplished so much already. However, you often sell your accomplishments short and focus on how much more is yet to be done. Life is telling you that it's time to put down the paintbrush, the pen, the endless list, and the thinking mind and get into your body. Take time to experience yourself and nature. Remember how to just be. In doing so, even for a relatively short amount of time, you will feel more yourself and ready for the next phase. You might be surprised with what a day or two of this can do. Restoration does not have to be a long and involved process, especially if it's attended to when this is needed. This is also a confirmation that you're in an important transition phase between one level of experience and the next. What was I saying, guys? If you feel as though you're treading water or in some sort of purgatory, right? This in between of pushing off from the jetpack and you're just floating. You're like, I hope that my momentum is going to get me there. Because, like, there's nothing you can do. Somewhere between your old life and your new life, then this particularly applies to you. If you can't quite break into this level you're reaching for, have faith. You are just taking a breather between races. Soon you'll have the power and the energy you need to reach the next level and succeed. If you've been considering a new endeavor or recently started one, this oracle brings a message of encouragement. Yes, this is a good step for you. You might be worried that you're taking on too much, but you're encouraged to take some time out to rest and rebalance yourself, but you're supported in your need for new and different experiences to refresh your spirit. Okay? This comes with guidance for your healing. If you've been under the weather, you'll be well, etc. Okay? Wow, friends. Thank you so much for allowing me to dive into this energy for you. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next. Oh, there's a card on the ground. And we'll end here with the dead end. You cannot go back. You've already committed. If this reading terrified you, let me scare you even more. You can't go back to what was. Too much dust has been stirred up, okay? I love you all so much. Thank you for liking, subscribing, all of those parts and pieces. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.